right, so AI, it's everywhere, right? And honestly, it can feel kind of overwhelming. You want to get it, like really understand it, but who has time to wade through all the jargon? So we're going to try something different for this deep dive. We're starting with, wait for it, Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
I know, I know. Not exactly the most cutting-edge source, but think of it like the Smart Notes for AI. It gives you the big picture, all the key terms and concepts. Plus, it might surprise you how much of this stuff is already part of your daily life without you even realizing it.
That's actually a great point. AI is often hiding in plain sight, you know?
Exactly. Like, think about it. Google searches, Netflix recommendations, Siri and Alexa, even those self-driving cars everyone's talking about, that's all powered by AI.
And once it becomes familiar, we sort of stop thinking of it as AI.
Right, so let's break it down, like really start from scratch. What is AI, besides just a buzzword?
Okay, so at its core, artificial intelligence is about machines, especially computer systems, demonstrating intelligence.
So solving problems, learning, making decisions, stuff we usually think of as human traits.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just crunching numbers or following instructions. Like those self-driving cars, they have to process tons of data in real time, make judgments based on that data, all without a human at the wheel.
Whoa, that's kind of freaky, but also super cool. So we've got the what. But how do you actually make a machine intelligent?
Well, there are different approaches. One of the big ones is machine learning. Instead of programming specific rules for every scenario, you feed the machine data and let it find the patterns itself.
Okay, so it's more like teaching by example rather than giving a strict set of rules.
Yeah, good analogy. And within machine learning, there are different types. Supervised learning is like giving the machine a textbook with all the answers, labeled data, like pictures of cats and dogs, each clearly identified. The machine analyzes the features, learns to tell them apart, and then can classify new images on its own.
Makes sense. So what about unsupervised learning? Is that more like giving the machine a puzzle and saying, good luck?
Exactly. You don't give it labeled data. It just has to sift through the information and find patterns on its own, which, amazingly, it often can.
That's pretty wild. I've also heard about reinforcement learning, though. Where does that fit in?
That one's like training a dog with treats. Reward good decisions, penalize bad ones. Over time, the machine learns to maximize those rewards. It's actually how they teach those AI systems to beat humans at games like Go.
Wow, so those AI game champions, that's reinforcement learning in action.
Yep. It's not just about games, though. Reinforcement learning is used in a lot of real-world applications.
Okay, that makes sense. Now we got to talk about GPT. It's all over the news these days.
Right. GPT, generative, pre-trained transformer. It's a type of deep learning model that's been trained on like a ridiculous amount of text and code.
So it can, what, write Shakespeare or something?
It can generate all kinds of creative text formats like poems, codes, scripts, musical pieces, email, letters, etc. But it also answers your questions in an informative way, even if they are open-ended, challenging, or strange. And it can translate languages, too.
It's more than just a fancy chatbot then.
Way more. The potential applications are huge. Researchers are even using it for stuff like drug discovery, analyzing scientific papers to find new treatments.
Mind blown. Okay, so that's deep learning in GPT. But there's a whole bunch of other core AI concepts, right? Like I
Yeah.
remember reading about natural language processing and computer vision.
Oh, absolutely. Those are fundamental to a lot of AI systems. Natural language processing, or NLP, focuses on making computers understand and use human language. Think of Siri or Alexa. They're using NLP to understand your commands.
So it's like giving machines the gift of gab.
Kinda. And computer vision is all about teaching machines to see and interpret images.
That must be crucial for things like self-driving cars.
Totally. They need to recognize pedestrians, other cars, traffic lights. All that relies on computer vision.
This is getting really interesting. I also remember something about AI that can recognize emotions, like if someone's happy or sad. Is that for real?
Yeah. It's called affective computing, or emotion AI. Still a pretty new field, but it's got potential in healthcare, education, even entertainment.
So AI isn't just about cold, hard logic. It can understand human feelings too.
To a certain extent, yes. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to explore, like the concept of general intelligence, or AGI.
Hold on, isn't that getting into like sci-fi territory? Robots that think and feel like humans.
Well, that's the ultimate goal. A machine with the same broad intellectual abilities as a human being.
Whoa. Okay, let's back up a second. That's pretty far out there. What about the AI that's actually happening now? What are some real-world examples?
Oh, tons. AI is already changing the game in tons of industries, like games, for
Oh,
example.
yeah, games. I remember when Deep Blue beat that chess grandmaster back in the 90s. That was a big deal.
Huge. And then there was AlphaGo, which beat a world champion Go player. Go is way more complex than chess, so that was another major milestone.
So these game-playing AIs, they weren't just for fun. They were actually pushing the limits of what AI could do.
Absolutely. They led to advancements in things like decision-making and strategic planning.
Okay, cool. What about something more practical, like finance?
AI is revolutionizing finance. Robo-advisors giving personalized investment advice, algorithms detecting fraud. It's making things more efficient and secure.
What about predicting the stock market? Is that a thing yet?
Some are trying, but it's super complex. Even the smartest AI can't predict the future of the market for sure. Too many factors involved.
Right, no AI crystal ball just yet. But what about AI in the military? That seems a bit more controversial.
Yeah, it is. AI is being explored for things like autonomous vehicles, drones, even intelligence analysis. But obviously, using AI in warfare raises some serious ethical questions.
Yeah, machines making life or death decisions. That's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So we've got games, finance, the military. What other industries are being impacted by AI?
Oh, pretty much everything. Healthcare, transportation, manufacturing, agriculture. It's being used to develop new medicines, optimize supply chains, even automate farming.
Wow, it really is everywhere. But with all this amazing potential, we got to think about the downsides too, right? Like the ethical stuff.
100%. AI's got incredible potential for good, but it also comes with risks that we need to take seriously.
And that is a perfect place to leave things for now. We've gotten the AI basics, seen how it's already changing the world, but now it's time to dive deeper.
Next up, we'll be exploring AI agents, superintelligence, and some of those ethical dilemmas we mentioned.
Things are about to get really interesting.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about all the different industries AI is impacting. Now let's dive into something called AI agents.
AI agents.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds kind of sci-fi, like little robots running around doing stuff.
You're not totally off base. AI agents are basically software programs that can make decisions and take action like all on their own. They use the data they have and the goals they're programmed with to figure out what to do.
So they're like tiny digital detectives gathering info, making judgments, and then acting on it.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. And they're all around us. Like the self-driving cars we talked about. They're a prime example of AI agents in action.
Okay, so the car is gathering data from its sensors,
Right.
processing it, and then deciding when to turn, brake, all that.
Exactly. And it's doing it all in real time without any human input. Pretty
But-
amazing, huh?
It is kind of mind-blowing. What about those chatbots you see on websites? Are those AI agents too?
Yep. A lot of them are. They use AI to hold conversations, answer your questions, even do things like schedule appointments or make reservations.
Wow, it seems like AI is automating so much of what humans used to do. Which makes me wonder, what about this whole idea of autonomy? Where do we draw the line between a machine following instructions and, like, actually making its own decisions?
That's the million-dollar question. And it's something AI researchers and philosophers have been debating for a long time. As AI gets more sophisticated, this idea of machine autonomy gets trickier. Imagine a self-driving car runs into a situation it hasn't been specifically programmed for, like a sudden detour or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Its AI agent has to figure out what to do, maybe without any help from a human.
That's a lot of pressure for a machine. What if it makes the wrong call?
Exactly. That's why developing these autonomous AI systems has to be done super carefully with tons of testing, safety protocols, and ethical considerations. We have to make sure these AI agents operate within clear boundaries, and that their actions align with human values and safety standards. It sounds like a tough balance to strike. So with AI advancing so fast, what does the future hold? Are we really heading toward a world where machines are smarter than humans?
Ah, yes. Superintelligence. It's a hot topic. Basically, it's the idea of AI that can outperform humans in every way.
Okay, but like realistically, is that even possible?
It's definitely still up for debate. Some experts think we could see superintelligence in this century, which is, not that far off.
Whoa, that's wild. But what would a world with superintelligent AI even look like? Would it be like a utopia where robots solve all our problems, or more like a Terminator situation?
Huh. Good question. It's hard to predict with certainty, but the possibilities are huge. Superintelligent AI could help us tackle climate change, cure diseases, maybe even end poverty. It could revolutionize science, technology, even art.
That sounds pretty amazing. But I can't help but think about the potential downsides, too. What if this superintelligent AI decides it doesn't need us anymore?
Right. That's a valid concern. Making sure super intelligent AI stays aligned with human values and goals is absolutely crucial. Researchers are working on this, looking at things like value alignment, decision-making frameworks, and ways to keep humans in the loop.
Sounds like we're sailing into uncharted territory here. Exciting and kind of scary at the same time.
That's the thing about progress, right? We're constantly pushing boundaries, and with that comes uncertainty. AI is no different. It's a journey of discovery, innovation, and a lot of responsibility.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, what about transhumanism? I've heard that term, but not really sure what it means.
It's a fascinating idea. Basically, transhumanism is about using technology to go beyond our human limitations.
So like becoming superhuman, living forever, merging with machines. That sounds like something out of a movie.
It does. But some people believe those things could become reality. They think embracing technology is the next step in our evolution, helping us reach new levels of intelligence, creativity, even compassion.
That's a lot to unpack. But it also makes you think, what does it even mean to be human if we're always changing ourselves with technology?
That's a big question at the heart of the transhumanism debate. Critics worry that messing with our biology or merging with machines could make us lose our humanity, our values, even our souls. Others think it's just the natural progression of things, that it'll help us become even better versions of ourselves.
It's like opening a Pandora's box.
Yeah.
So much potential, but also a lot of risks to consider.
For sure. AI and transhumanism are really forcing us to rethink what it means to be human in this rapidly changing world.
So much to think about. We've covered AI agents, superintelligence, transhumanism. It's clear this AI stuff is a powerful force that's already shaping our world, and it's only going to get bigger.
Absolutely. And as we move forward, we need to be having these conversations, weighing the ethical implications and making smart choices about how we want to shape the future of AI.
Okay, so we've talked about the amazing potential of AI, but we also have to talk about regulation. With all this power, shouldn't we be thinking about how to control it?
Absolutely. Regulation is key to making sure AI is developed and used responsibly, ethically, for the benefit of everyone. Governments and organizations all over the world are working on this, trying to address things like data privacy, bias in algorithms, safety standards, and making sure someone is accountable when things go wrong.
It sounds like finding that sweet spot between encouraging innovation and preventing harm is going to be a big challenge.
It is. There are different approaches being considered. Some people say we should be extra cautious and thoroughly assess all the potential risks before releasing new AI tech. Others argue for a more flexible approach, allowing for experimentation while keeping a close eye on things and making adjustments as we go.
It's definitely a delicate balancing act. What about the role of open source AI? I've heard that's becoming a popular way to make AI technology accessible to everyone.
Yeah, open source AI is a big movement. The idea is to make all the AI software, algorithms, and data freely available. Supporters say it encourages collaboration, transparency, and faster innovation because researchers and developers from all over can contribute.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
But isn't there a risk that someone could misuse it? Like, what if someone with bad intentions gets their hands on this powerful AI tech?
It's a legitimate concern. We need to be really thoughtful about the potential risks of open source AI and take steps to minimize them. Things like establishing ethical guidelines, making security super tight, and promoting a sense of responsibility within the open source community are crucial.
So open source AI has a ton of potential, but also some potential dangers.
Definitely. It's all about finding the right balance between openness and safety to make sure this technology is used for good.
Okay, so much to consider. As we wrap up this part of our deep dive, it's clear that AI has incredible potential, but we have to be smart about how we develop and use it.
Absolutely. AI is a powerful force, and we need to approach it with a mix of optimism, caution, and a deep commitment to human values.
All right, we're back, and wow, we've covered some serious ground. My brain is still buzzing from all that talk about superintelligence and humans merging with machines.
It's a lot to take in for sure. But remember, AI isn't just some abstract thing in the distant future. It's already woven into our lives in countless ways.
Oh, totally. We talked about AI agents in everything from self-driving cars to those helpful chatbots on websites. It's easy to forget that it's all powered by artificial intelligence.
Right. AI is already changing the world as we know it, and it's only going to become more prevalent in the years to come.
So what does this all mean for the average person? What can we do to prepare for this AI-driven future?
You know, I get asked that a lot. I think the most important thing is to stay informed, to learn about AI and its potential, both the good and the bad.
Okay, so it's not about becoming AI experts ourselves, but about being aware of what's happening and like having a voice in shaping this technology.
Exactly. We can't just sit back and watch as AI reshapes our world. We need to be part of the conversation to help guide its development and make sure it's used for good.
That makes a lot of sense.
Uh,
But where do we even start? There's so much information out there. It can be overwhelming.
oh, definitely. But there are tons of great resources available, online courses, articles, podcasts like this one. Just start with the basics, build your understanding gradually, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Good point. I think a lot of people feel intimidated by AI, like it's this super complicated thing only geniuses can understand.
I get that, but the truth is, AI is a complex field, and even the experts are still learning and figuring things out as we go.
So it's okay to not have all the answers.
Absolutely. AI is constantly evolving. What's important is to approach it with curiosity, an open mind, and a willingness to learn.
I love that. Curiosity, open mind. It's easy to get caught up in the hype or the fear surrounding AI. But ultimately, AI is a tool, a powerful tool, yes, but it's up to us to decide how we want to use it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We have the power to shape the future of AI, and we should all take that responsibility seriously.
So instead of being afraid of AI, we should focus on understanding it, participating in the conversation, and making sure it's used ethically.
Exactly. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's something we're actively creating through our research, our choices, and our discussions. The more informed and engaged we are, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this new world.
I think that's a powerful message for our listeners. AI is powerful, it's complex, it's changing the world, and it's only going to become more important in the years to come. But the future of AI is not set in stone. We have the ability to shape it and ensure that it benefits all of humanity.
And that's where our real journey with AI begins.
And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of artificial intelligence. We've covered a ton of information, from the basic concepts to the mind-blowing possibilities. But remember, this is just the beginning.
Absolutely. There's so much more to learn and explore in the world of AI.
So keep that curiosity alive, stay informed, and stay engaged. The future of AI is in our hands. Until next time.